reopening. What will that mean for the return of the entertainment industry? Joining us to discuss, we've got Sean Paul and Julianne Fay, the master illusionist at the Intrigue Theater in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Good morning to you two. Thanks for coming on the program.
Hey, good morning.
Thanks for having us.
You
Yeah,
got
great
it.
to be here.
Absolutely. I know you're probably excited to start reopening again and to start performing. Sean, tell me where you're at in the process of doing so.
Well, we had high hopes for this year. This was going to be our 10th year in one place, and in the entertainment business, that's a big deal. And so we had press releases. Had a very ambitious game plan, and then everything just came to a screeching, grinding halt, like everybody in the world knows. And so we waited about 2-3 months, and then everybody's wondering if we can reopen, and it just felt like, can we do it? No. Can we do it? No. And actually, it felt like we were taking one step forward, 2 steps back. I can't tell you how many times we would put dates on the schedule, and then the government would say, no, you can't do it, and we'd take them off. Put them on, take them off, start, stop, start. And it just got, it was very frustrating. But we're now finally open. This is our 3rd weekend being open, and people are showing up. I mean, we're dealing with maybe 30% of the size of the crowds that we had this time last year. But it still feels good to be on stage with people. They've got beautiful smiles. Everybody in our audience is wearing face masks.
But you can tell.
We can still see that they're having a great time.
Yeah. Julianne, tell me about that, especially 10 years now. Now finally you have the green light, but it does look different than years prior.
It really does. You know, I think we're just so thankful to be back that we're okay with the smaller crowds, and we're okay being able to kind of see beyond the mask, see the smile in the eyes. We've had to change some things from our show. Our show was very interactive, so we really had to go back to the drawing board. We had to go back into the magic vault, we say, and look at some of our older illusions and bring those back. And
the reason being was because our show is so audience interactive. We're always going into the audience or bringing people up on stage. And now with social distancing, we have to cut out as much of that as possible. So now we're putting things in the show where we're not as dependent on that aspect of the show.
We had to recreate. Yeah, so it really challenged us in many ways. You know, one of the biggest things I always say about magic is you begin with the wildest dream, and you don't ask, how am I going to do it? You just figure out a way. And that's kind of how this whole COVID thing is for a lot of people. You just had to figure it out.
Yeah, you were up to a huge challenge. No doubt anyone in the entertainment industry would be in this situation. What have you heard from audience members who've been and seen your show post-coronavirus? Sean, I mean, I'm sure that they're excited, first of all, to get out of the house and actually see something live as opposed to watching something on their streaming services. What have they told you?
Well, you know what? That's a great question. And first, I have to be honest. I don't get to go out and talk to people after the show the way I used to. I used to run right out there. We'd do pictures, we would talk, and all of that. And now people pretty much get up and they leave. But now our online reviews, people that after the fact, they've I don't know, multiplied by a factor of 10. And so we get the great feedback after the show, and it's really incredible. They say that they feel like we made the COVID-19 disappear for the time that they were in our theater. And, you know, they know that we're going out of our way to be extremely responsible. We want to be responsible, that everybody feels secure and that we're not taking any unnecessary risks. But we're also doing everything we can to still make sure that they have a good time as well.
Yeah. Julianne, do you wonder how this could potentially change your industry, the entertainment industry, moving forward, as we've seen how much of an impact COVID has had on how we consume entertainment?
Yes, I do feel it. I feel it's changed the world, and you look at everything differently. I mean, from the show to even outside of the show, like when we were putting together what we were going to do for the show, we were so glad that we had held on to some of our older material, because we had considered throwing it out or selling it. And now you kind of look back and think, next time you're thinking about throwing something out, you might just ask yourself, well, is this going to be good in a pandemic? And just hold on to it for a little longer. But yeah, I feel that our audiences may always be smaller. We may always have to separate people, because if we do, you know, figure out a way around this virus, you know, people, they've been kind of rewired now for a little bit of fear, and maybe something else could come along. And so I think it was a necessity to make people feel comfortable and safe moving forward, just in general.
Yeah. Well, at least what hasn't changed is the fact that people do want to be entertained and they want to smile, even if they are wearing masks, as you say. Sean Paul, Julianne Fay, thank you for coming on today's program and telling us all about your experience with this. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great to be with you.
You got it. You're welcome.